Hello, Formula One fans. Everyone knew a big change was coming, but no one expected this bold move. The future of an F1 icon is on the line, while a rival seizes this golden opportunity to shine. And there's more. Everyone's jaw is on the floor right now. One of the most iconic teams on the grid just dropped a bombshell about who's going to be driving in 2025. And the team boss didn't hold back, huh? But the question is, does he actually believe this? Or is it just a marketing move? The Formula One world is buzzing, so don't waste time. Subscribe to the channel now to stay up to date on all the latest F1 news. Just hit the subscribe button below the video. It's quick, free, and doesn't even need a sign-up. This is F1 Fastline News, your daily Formula One news channel. Let's get straight to it. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest driver market shakeups in recent F1 history. Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari and the implications of this decision for the future of the sport. Let's go straight to the details. Hamilton, a seven-time world champion, has always had impeccable timing when it comes to choosing his teams. He started his career with a strong contender like McLaren, and when he noticed the team's decline, he made the bold move to join Mercedes, which at the time was just a midfield runner. We all know what happened next. He dominated the turbo hybrid era and solidified his status as one of the greatest of all time. But now, by leaving Mercedes and heading to Ferrari, Hamilton is taking a huge risk, and the reason is crystal clear. The new engine regulations set for 2026 are set to completely change the game. According to Williams' team principal, James Vowles, Mercedes is developing a power unit that promises to be revolutionary. If this prediction comes true, Mercedes and its customer teams could make a significant leap, putting Ferrari, and therefore Hamilton, in a tough spot. Vowles, who worked with Hamilton at Mercedes and knows the team's potential inside out, was straightforward when he spoke on the Beyond the Grid podcast. Mercedes has done an exceptional job. I was very happy to renew our contract with them. I believe we'll see significant differences between the power units in 2026, something that doesn't really exist today. This is a worrying sign for Ferrari and, of course, for Hamilton. If Mercedes really does deliver a far superior engine, Ferrari might find itself struggling, watching helplessly as its rivals dominate. And, at the end of the day, Hamilton would be left wondering, what if? What if he had stayed at Mercedes? What if he had waited a little longer before switching teams? But we can't forget who stands to benefit the most from this move: George Russell. The young Brit, who's already had 3 seasons to settle in alongside Hamilton, will now have the chance to step up and lead Mercedes. With the new regulations, Russell could have the dream car at his disposal, while Hamilton would face the pressure of delivering results for Ferrari, something that historically has proven challenging. Of course, we're dealing with hypotheticals here, but F1 history shows that regulatory changes always bring surprises. In 2014, when the turbo hybrid era began, we saw Mercedes take off and teams like Williams benefit greatly by being customers of the German manufacturer. Vowles, now leading Williams, is confident that history could repeat itself. He sees Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon as the ideal drivers to help bring Williams back to its glory days. And this brings us to the real question: is Hamilton making a move to Ferrari at the wrong time? It wouldn't be the first time a top driver made a poor team choice. Ferrari has all the structure and resources needed to win, but they always seem to fall short. We saw it happen with Vettel, Alonso, and even Schumacher, who spent years in the red before kicking off his streak of victories. Which makes me wonder, what if Ferrari doesn't deliver? Hamilton is at a point in his career where every decision counts, and time isn't exactly on his side. He wants that 8th title. But can the Scuderia really provide that with a rising Mercedes? Meanwhile, George Russell is in a much more comfortable position. With a competitive car, he could become the main rival to the promising Kimi Antonelli, who will still be adapting to the category. On the other hand, we should never underestimate Ferrari. It's the most iconic team in Formula One, with a massive fan base and an insatiable desire to return to the top. Hamilton brings with him not only his experience, but also his ability to motivate the team and get the best out of everyone around him. If he manages to unite Ferrari and help them develop a competitive car, the narrative could change completely. Shifting gears. James Vowles, the Williams team principal, just made a bold statement that no one saw coming. He claimed that Williams will have the best driver lineup on the grid for the 2025 season. That's right, the best. And we're not talking about a top team like Red Bull or Mercedes, but a team that's been fighting to get back on its feet for years. So how exactly does Vowles back up this claim? Let's break it all down right now. You've already seen on the channel that Carlos Sainz signed a multi-year contract with Williams starting in 2025. This move had been speculated behind the scenes, but the confirmation still caught a lot of people off guard, especially because Sainz is leaving one of the sport's most historic teams to join one that's still trying to solidify its place among the best. But why is Vowles so confident? He was very clear in stating that with Sainz and Alex Albon together, Williams will have the perfect mix of experience and youth to lead the team at a critical moment of transition. After all, Williams has undergone major internal changes, from infrastructure upgrades to car development. And Vowles believes that this new phase requires a lineup that not only drives well, but also lifts the team's morale and technical capabilities. Let's dig deeper into the situation. On the Beyond the Grid podcast, Vowles said, "In 2025, I believe we'll have the best driver lineup on the grid. Franco is doing a brilliant job. What he lacks is the experience that Carlos will bring, but he's performing exceptionally well. If we compare them to other duos, are Sainz and Albon really better than, say, Hamilton and Leclerc at Ferrari or Norris and Piastri at McLaren?" Vowles doesn't hesitate to say yes, and he lays out solid arguments for it. He explained that Sainz has raced against almost all the top names of the current generation and stayed competitive. Against Lando Norris when they were teammates at McLaren, he delivered great results. Against Charles Leclerc, it was a back-and-forth battle, but he always held his own. And let's not forget his stint at Toro Rosso alongside Max Verstappen. Even though Verstappen emerged as a prodigy, Sainz never backed down and showed he was capable of performing at a high level too. However, for Vowles, it's not just what Sainz does behind the wheel that sets him apart. He pushes the team forward, Vowles said. He wants to spend every minute he can making the team more and more successful. And this, according to him, is a crucial factor for Williams' success in the near future. Sainz's desire to be involved in the team's development and the car's progress is something Vowles values greatly and something he believes is lacking in some other teams. On the other hand, we have Alex Albon, who's had a turbulent journey in Formula One, but seems to have found his home at Williams. Vowles describes Albon as someone built for success, with a resilient mindset and impressive technical ability. This kind of dedication is rare, and the Albon-Sainz combo could indeed elevate Williams to a new level. But there are still big questions to be answered. The first one being, will Williams have a competitive enough car to justify this driver lineup? In recent years, the team has shown signs of recovery, especially with Albon delivering solid results on tracks that don't typically favor the Williams car. However, being on the rise and consistently fighting for podiums and victories are two very different things. The truth is that 2025 will be a crucial year, not just for Williams, but for the entire grid, considering we're on the verge of a major regulation change in 2026. If Williams gets the car development right for that period, having two drivers who can extract the maximum performance and at the same time work on the team's overall development could be the missing piece to revive the team's glory days. But let's be real here. Is Williams truly ready to take that leap? And is Sainz prepared to face the pressure of leading a team that, despite its tradition, has been far from its ideal form for years? This move feels like an all-in gamble for both Sainz and Williams. If it works out, Sainz could be the driver who brought the sleeping giant of Formula One back to life. If it doesn't, he might become another big name that got lost while chasing success in an unstable team. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Vowles right in his assessment, or is he just trying to sell a positive narrative to boost team morale and attract sponsors? The answer to that will only come on the track in 2025. Until then, all we can do is follow each step closely and hope we'll have one more competitive team fighting at the top. Now, I want to know what you think. Are Sainz and Albon really the best driver duo on the grid for 2025? Is Williams finally going to be back in contention at the front? And did Hamilton make the right choice? Or is he about to relive the frustrating experiences that other world champions had at Maranello? And will Mercedes truly have such a superior power unit in 2026? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear what you think. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Here, we talk about Formula One with no holds barred, strong opinions, and tons of information. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and become part of this passionate F1 community. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and share it with your fellow Formula One enthusiasts. Let's grow this F1 fan community together. See you next time, speeding towards victory.